Airlines are changing the way they take flight in the middle of a historic pandemic, from new cleaning procedures to decreased seating capacity and new strategies to reduce the number of touch points as customers head to the skies. Joining us now is Bill Lentsch, Chief Customer Experience Officer at Delta Airlines. Bill, great to have you with me here today. I know Delta has implemented a whole host of different things, additional cleaning, plexiglass shields at check-in counters, face masks, that sort of thing. How have flyers kind of responded to these changes thus far?
Well, I will tell you, first of all, it's good to be here with you. We have implemented more than 200 distinct actions to ensure the safety of our customers through this pandemic and beyond, quite frankly. Everything that we have done here is not being done just for the period of COVID. We have changed the standard of cleaning and safety on board our aircraft. Customers have responded very well. We continue to receive favorable feedback for all the actions that we have taken. Things such as social distancing markings, extensive cleaning, separation of our passengers on board the aircraft, the interval at which we change out the air filtration systems on our airplanes. The net promoter scores that we're receiving now are 20 points better than what they were this time last year. So the customer's noticing it, and they really appreciate what we're doing.
Well, Bill, what is the protocol? It feels like a lot of the onus is on the customer to comply. What is your protocol if a customer, say, doesn't want to, or a flyer doesn't want to wear a mask when they are inside the cabin?
So at this point, we require masks. We are asking our customers to comply. Our flight attendants on board well, let me back up. Before the customer is allowed to board the airplane, they must demonstrate that they are wearing a mask and wearing a mask properly. Otherwise, they'll be denied boarding on board our aircraft. Once they get on board the aircraft, if they do not want to comply with the mask wearing, our flight attendants will ask them a couple of times in the appropriate tone, with their great customer service tone. They will ask them to please don their mask. And in the end, if they are unwilling to don their mask and they do not have a medical exemption for donning the mask, we will let them know that they risk future travel privileges on Delta Airlines. And to date, we have had more than 100 of our customers put on our no-fly list because they would not comply with our mask-wearing requirement.
And Bill, the risks are obviously higher in different parts of the country where we're seeing a rise in cases. Are there extra precautions taken by your crew or otherwise in places like Florida and Texas where we're seeing a significant rise in cases?
Yeah, we recognize that there are hot spots around the country, but the protocols that we have put in place, which essentially follow a layered approach, we have no one silver bullet that takes care of this transmission problem. But the layers of protection that we have put in place have brought down the probability of transmission substantially. And we're working very closely with our medical partner, the Mayo Clinic, to ensure that we have put all the appropriate protocols in place to ensure minimum to, in some cases, no transmission. But we are not singling out the hot spots. We believe that everywhere our customers fly, they deserve the same level of safety and protection. And this will take care of any level of transmission risk, we believe.
Bill, going back to inside the cabin, there are some changes to boarding procedures going back to front, limits on middle seat bookings. Are some of those changes here to stay even when things are relatively back to normal?
Well, I would suggest that the majority of what we have done to this point is here to stay. Whether we change the boarding process will be something that we evaluate downline, and we are boarding from back to front of the airplane. But we will change that downline once this virus is contained and based off of feedback from our customers. They like what we are doing now, and we'll see if that's something that continues. But the majority of what we have changed to this point, it's here to stay.
Bill, looking a little bit further into the future, when we're talking about middle seats, not everyone's a fan of middle seats, and there have been floated different designs inside cabins where middle seats are turned in the other direction, or there's plexiglass that is around the individual seats. Are there cabin changes you might consider implementing as you work with aircraft manufacturers as well?
Yep. Well, as you can imagine, all of the ideas are coming out, and we're evaluating all the possibilities about reconfiguration of the cabin. But at this point, we don't have any plan to do that. Our approach is to take what we have right now and make it the safest possible cabin, which is why we have blocked middle seats, which is why we have limited our load factors to 60% at least through September, and we will evaluate beyond then. And we're doing things such as changing the catering specs so that we minimize the number of touch points between our flight attendants and our customers. But as far as cabin configuration changes go, that's not something that we're evaluating in the near term. This virus is here now, and we've got to make sure that that cabin is as safe as possible for our customers. And we believe the protocols that we put in place do that.
As you're limiting seating capacity and thinking about your business at the same time, might we see an increase in prices in tickets from a customer standpoint?
Yeah, at this point, this is not a pricing game for us. Candidly, while we need at some point to return to profitability, obviously, this for us is not a game of profitability. It's a game of preserving cash and making sure our customers and our employees are safe. And by the way, in reverse order, it's about employee and customer safety first, and then preserving cash so that we can do what we need to on the backside of this. So it's for us pricing right now is not the issue that we're concerned about.
Bill, very quickly, we've heard from travel experts that the best way to get customer service attention is to tweet at airlines. What is your advice on how to get a hold of customer service at Delta?
Tweeting works very well. We have res agents, and they've been under a lot of pressure lately because we've been through changes. But we are bringing back res staff off of voluntary leaves. We are increasing our automation to relieve the load on our reservations employees. So whether it's tweeting, whether it's calling res, contacting a leader in the airport, whatever you might need to get a hold of Delta, we're doing what we can to ensure that wait times are low and the response times are very quick for our customers.
Bill, thank you so much for your time today. That's Bill Lentsch, Chief Customer Experience Officer at Delta Airlines. Thanks again.